Hello, Ada. Just verifying that everyone can see me.
Yeah, I can see you.
Can you
It's
hear
clear
me?
enough. Yes, it's clear enough.
Okay,
I can
cool.
see
Okay, I need to know where this is going live to so that I can share with my Facebook group.
you. Okay, so it's not live. It's just on Zoom, but basically, we're
Okay,
actually recording though. So
okay.
yeah,
Okay, so you're not streaming to Facebook?
no, we are not.
Okay, just in-house. All right, cool.
Uh,
All right, hello everyone.
but you can if
Welcome
you
to
want to
this.
though. If you want to stream with your people, it's fine.
Yeah, it's only when you're streaming to some destination on Facebook that I could just take the link and
And
reshare.
share. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but it's cool. All right. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us here at this fireside chat. My name is John Obidi. It's a pleasure to have everyone here. I'm going to really benefit from largely from the Q&A segment of this, but let me just run through what I have prepared for you today. So the title of this is How to Sell Anything Online. Um, but we have to understand where the venue is. It's online, and in doing that, we have to understand how online platforms work. All right, and in learning about how online platforms work, you have to understand things like where how to build platforms for selling, whether it's services or it's physical products or it's digital products, payment gateways, and so on. So I'll talk about those things as we proceed. But first of all, let's talk about what we all know as social media and how we need to position on these platforms. So there are three types of platforms, three types of online platforms. We have the rented platforms, we have the owned platforms, and we have the hybrid platforms. The rented platforms, we get that from the saying, do not build your house with rented land. Do not build your house on rented land, I mean. And so, what is rented land? Rented land is all of social media, like Facebook, like Instagram, right? They are useful for some part of our selling activities, but we're not supposed to build our entire existence on them. So, for example, you might see some people on Instagram using their Instagram profiles alone to sell. While that might work on the short term, you don't build a long-term profitable business doing just that. You have to build some sort of maybe a store. If you don't have the bandwidth to build out your own online store, you can use a no-code third-party tool like Shopify. You can build a Shopify store and offload those people who are interested from Instagram over to your online store. But we'll get into that later. But the point is, if you're using Instagram or Facebook, it is rented land. Now, the beauty of rented land is that it already has an audience. So you don't need to do much to bring people over there. Facebook, for example, has over 2 billion users. Instagram has a similar number, right? So all you have to do is set up there. And from everyone who is roaming the platform, you can attract some of those people over to you and you can make some sales. So it's very useful. But our goal on social media, which is rented land, is to set up there, grab as many people as possible there, and then offload them over to a platform that we own and control. Because if anything happens to your Facebook or your Instagram account, you cannot offload your users anywhere else. All right. So in doing that, there is a number one skill that we all have to learn, and that is Facebook advertising. And I'll talk about the beauty of Facebook advertising in this way. Now, I just said that Facebook has over 2 billion users, right? But the power of Facebook is not in the 2 billion users themselves, but in the data that they've been able to collect on those 2 billion users. Now, Facebook knows what we like to eat. Facebook knows where we went to work, where we went to school, who our family members are, who our best friends are. And they've been able to use that data to even predict our future behavior. And you can Google this. They have this, even this, that they're rumored to have this algorithm that can foretell whether a couple in a relationship is going to break up. Yeah, the algorithms are that powerful. But away from the sinister side of the Facebook algorithm and over to how that helps us as sellers and marketers. Facebook sells that, well, I won't say sell, but they serve up that data over to people like us who want to reach a targeted audience through Facebook advertising. And so I can get into Facebook ads and I can say, I want to show this message to women in Anambra State aged 35 to 50 who are interested in health and wellness. It can be that targeted because it has data on everyone. It can be that targeted. You can also, maybe you have an email list of buyers. You can feed that email list into Facebook. It's called a lookalike audience. You can take that email database, feed it into Facebook, and Facebook is going to do one of two things that you can predefine: show ads to those people in the email list, or create a lookalike audience from that email list. A lookalike email list is a segment of Facebook users that are most like those people in your email list. So if you have an email list of people who have bought from you before, Facebook can find strangers who are most likely to buy based on the similarities that the algorithm has found with those people in your email list. So that is really powerful. And that should be most of our business on these rented platforms, using their moneymaker to become our moneymaker. Okay. So I'm going from rented platforms and over to owned platforms. So when you serve up ads, where do you take those people who are seeing those ads? You bring them over to your own platform. For example, your email list or your mobile app. That's something that is not talked about a lot these days. Your email list, your mobile app. If you have a mobile app for your business, oh, trust me, you will have almost no competition. And I'm just saying that relatively based on where most of us watching this webinar are at, Nigeria, right? Not many business owners care enough to have a mobile app. So if you're one of the few, you will stand out. Well, at least until everyone hears this and goes into wreck it, and then it's no longer that remarkable anymore, right? But if you have a mobile app for your business right now, oh my goodness, you are in the top 1%. Before we even look at whether it's difficult to have a mobile app, let me explain how powerful you can be if you're able to master something like owned platforms. Okay. So first of all, let me cover email. So email, they say, is the best inbox. If you have a list of email subscribers, whether they are buying or not, but they're subscribers. If you have that email list, if MailChimp kicks you out today, you can always go to Aweber. If Aweber kicks you out today, you can always go to Get Responsive. Or if they all kick you out, you can afford to even self-host your email database like we do in our company. All right. So all those options exist, but not so much for rented platforms. When they kick you out, they kick you out, they kicked you out. Donald Trump, for example, can't go back to Twitter. His own suspension is indefinite, and so on. So that's the problem with rented platforms. So own platforms, email marketing, fantastic. However, for those of us who are watching this broadcast and have had some sort of experience with email marketing, come on, you know that Nigerians have a terrible relationship with email. All right. So Nigerians generally treat email like a PO box. So that's why you will spend all your time and your energy crafting a fantastic email, and just about 15 to 20%, if you're lucky, might get to see that email. So that's cool. We still should have that. But that brings me to the third kind of platform, which I'm really excited about. And that's where mobile apps and the other categories I'll mention to you will fall under. The third, oh my goodness, I love that. And it's called the hybrid platforms. Let me give you my philosophy of hybrid platforms and why they're important before I mention their names. How many of us remember when we first created a Facebook account? For me, I think mine was created in 2008. And I don't know how early yours was, but at that time, there was no mobile app for Facebook. It was just the desktop version and maybe the mobile web version, but there was no mobile apps. There were no mobile apps, I mean. And it was cool to us then, but if you look back now, they were like, well, I don't believe we ever used that. But anyway, whenever we wanted to know what was happening on Facebook, we had to go to facebook.com and look at the website. Or Facebook would send us an email notification that somebody liked a picture or left a comment, and if you saw the email notification, you could click in and go to the website. Facebook not quite blew at that time. When Facebook blew was when they launched their mobile app. Why? Through the magic of push notifications. Because remember back in the day, especially those of us who were fortunate to buy a BlackBerry. Remember when BlackBerry was the in thing? If you had a BlackBerry and it had those red lights for notifications, and when someone liked your comment on Facebook or commented on your post on Facebook, that red light will start blinking and start blinking, and your life will come to a standstill until you figured out what was making that red light blink. You all remember that? That was what blew Facebook up. Because rather than wait for us to just, whenever we feel like, come to the site and so what's going on, Facebook could now use that red light notification to bring us into the app. We call it FOMO, fear of missing out syndrome. So they figured that they could use that notification thing to control us and bring us into the app. When you have your own mobile app, you're placing in your own hands the power that Facebook had at that time and still has today. But well, Facebook doesn't have a monopoly of that anymore, because every forward-thinking app, they all use push notifications. We have so many apps on the Play Store for Google, on the App Store for Apple. So they all use push notifications to bring us in to the app and sell us on their offers. And why do you not have an app for your business? It's huge, because imagine if you had, say, 10,000 installs on your app. I know, and of course, it's not going to be free. You're probably going to do some paid ad campaigns to get that 10,000 installs, but you do whatever you got to do and get those 10,000 installs for your app. For whatever it is you're selling, you bring them to your app. And whenever you wanted to bring them into the app to see something, maybe a new offer or a new product or anything you want them to see, all you've got to do is go to your back end and hit submit to send a push notification. And all your 10,000 users get that push notification. Instantly, it just drops. And they click in and they see what you have to see. That is huge. It will give you higher open rates than email marketing or any other platform. When you post on Instagram, do people get a push notification? Likely not, because you have to compete with the billions of users there who are trying to get their attention. Same thing on Facebook, all right? But when you have your own app, you just grab their attention, all right? So aside app, there is also other hybrid platforms that I like WhatsApp and Telegram. Like I was trying to shade email. I still use email marketing, but I'm just trying to talk about the way our email habits are. All right. If you send somebody an email, you have to say, "Oh, Chiamaka, I sent you an email." She will now say, "Okay, let me go and check." Okay. So you see how people use it more like a PO box. You know what's funny? Sometimes you would have to send somebody a WhatsApp message telling them that you just sent them an email. That's weird. So why don't you just send them what was supposed to have been in the email in the WhatsApp message? Different conversation. All right. So that shows you what the habits are. So that's why hybrid networks are very important. So what are hybrid networks like? We've got Telegram. I've already talked about mobile apps, but we've also got Telegram. We've got WhatsApp. Open rates for WhatsApp are way higher. Open rates for Telegram are way higher. And I think that this year, adoption of Telegram even skyrocketed. So I prefer Telegram actually to WhatsApp. Why? Telegram has a feature called Telegram channels. Trust me, if WhatsApp could just copy that feature, I would dump Telegram and move to WhatsApp right now. But they haven't done so, so that's fine. I use Telegram. On Telegram channels, you don't have any limits. For WhatsApp groups, for example, it has an issue with privacy. I don't like that issue with privacy. First of all, you've got a limit of 256 users or so, and then when you have a group of people, everybody in the group can see the phone numbers of everybody else in the group, and I don't quite like that. And I don't quite like that. But I don't know. There's still so many WhatsApp group chats and group coaching programs, and people seem to not mind the privacy issue. But I do mind. But Telegram takes away that concern, because once you have a channel, first of all, there are almost no limits. I think the limits to your Telegram channel, I think 200,000 or so, almost unlimited. And then once you have people subscribe to your Telegram channel, first of all, they all get your push notification when you send out a message to the channel. And then nobody in the Telegram channel gets to see who else is in the Telegram channel. They can only see how many are in there, but they don't get to see who is there or their contact details. That's a big up. That's a big plus. So that's why I love Telegram channels, but especially because it's unlimited and you get to send push notifications to those who subscribe to you. Most people do not have push notifications on for their email alerts, but they can have it for your Telegram channel. So these are the kinds of platforms, and this will largely drive eyeballs to your offers and conversions. But so now we'll talk about offers. Where do we create our offers? You have something to sell. You've got to have something to sell and present it in the language that people are going to be able to understand and then adopt. It's got to be hooked to a proper payment gateway, or maybe if you want to do bank transfers, but there's got to be, your offer has to be presented on some sort of website or web page. Okay. So anybody right now can go out there and create a website. Maybe you don't even need a website, but let me just talk about website. I'll talk about shopping carts as we proceed. Excuse me. Nowadays, you don't even need a website designer. Back in the day, yes, you needed a website designer, or you had to code by yourself. These days, you don't need to code by yourself. All you've got to do is look for a no-code platform. When I say no-code, I mean there are all these platforms these days that let you create a magnificent website or shopping cart, or even a learning management system, an online school, without learning how to code. The one for websites, the one I like to recommend, and I wish I was a brand ambassador so they'll be paying me for all these endorsements. I've been promoting them since the pandemic started in 2020. It's called Wix, okay? Wix, Wix. Now, I don't know how many of us are watching this, right? But if you could leave the, okay, don't leave the broadcast. If you're watching this with your laptop, don't leave the broadcast. So just open a web browser, go to johnobidi.com. And please do that from a laptop so you can see the full beauty of the presentation there. So go to johnobidi.com. That's my personal website. Okay, let it load fully. There's some kind of a video thingy that loads on the top part of the page. Let it load fully. Look at that website and try to imagine how much I would pay a web designer for that website. All right. You could probably give me some guesses in Naira, maybe 100K. You wouldn't pay anything less than 300K for that website. You wouldn't. All right. And if I was to be paying for that where I live now in the UAE, I'm in Dubai right now. If I was to pay for that here in Dubai, they wouldn't take anything less than $3,000 to create that kind of website. I mean, Nigeria prices are different from UAE prices, of course, but what did I actually pay? I paid, oh Lord, remind me, I don't remember, but it wasn't more than, I don't know how much exactly, but it was not more than 80,000 Naira. I think it's closer to even 60K, but let me just be safe. Wasn't more than 80,000 Naira I paid for that website per year. How? I use Wix.com. And by looking at it, you don't easily you don't at all get to know that it's Wix. There's no powered by Wix anywhere. It's my full domain. Everything works. It looks so beautiful. I designed that website myself in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, guys, using Wix. Why? They've got templates. You don't even need to be creative. You don't need to be good at colors. You don't need to be good at graphics or design. They have templates. Just replace the text, replace the images, replace the videos, and it's all yours, right? So that's Wix. I remember when I was teaching this last year on one of my webinars, and one lady was watching, and that was the time when I was teaching about reinvention because the COVID hit and things were so difficult. And so I was teaching about reinvention, and I thought about, how you could use Wix to create a new presence, a new identity for yourself. And she was just watching, not so she could reinvent herself in that way, but so she could serve up web design as a service. And she just changed her bio on Instagram instantly and became website designer. I was like, wow, so whether you're doing this for yourself or you want to do this as a service, that's an income opportunity right there. Okay, so that's for website design. Also, some people might not need a full-on website. Maybe you just need an online store. Shopify.com provides you that. There's even a Nigeria version of Shopify that integrates to our local payment gateways like Paystack and Flutterwave. Okay, so that will set you up immediately. You get to pay, I think it's $29 a month or so. So if that's within your budget, by all means, go ahead. If you're making any profit, $29 a month to have your online store up there, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Okay. One beautiful thing about having your platform hosted by another platform is the fact that you don't have to worry about things like uptime, whether it's, and also about the security, whether it's going to be hacked. They worry about that, and you just, be concerned about yours. Okay, so that's it about that. You can have your online store on Shopify. If you can't afford that, there are other ways too that are cheaper, but will involve some level of tech know-how. All right, so I like to keep my lessons very simple and with the due consideration to those who are not so techy. But for those of you who have the strength, the power, and the grabness to handle the tech, you can self-host your website with WordPress. And thankfully, we're doing this, we're having this webinar with Host. You can host your website with Host, and then install WordPress there, and then set up a WooCommerce store on your website. So there you can put up your goods, your services, and start selling. WooCommerce has plugins for the payment, all the payment gateways that we know. They've got it for whether it's Stripe, whether it's PayPal, whether it's Paystack, or even Flutterwave. All right. So you can have that option. So now you have your website. Now you have your online store. Now you have your online presence somewhere. These platforms that I've been mentioning. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't really see your questions. Maybe at the end, Ada will read the questions out to me because I'm using my mobile phone in front of me, and behind my mobile phone is a ring light. So I can't even see myself because the ring light is just in my face. I'm just trusting that I look okay on camera. I can't really see. So please just put your questions there, and I will read out the questions to me at the end. Thank you. So yeah, so now you have your website. Now you have your online store. You have all that set up. You just take the link and your descriptions, whatever, you throw them into your mobile app or your Telegram channel or wherever it is, and get people coming in there to buy. All right. Now, let me tell you one more thing that you should learn that will make you more powerful than most Nigerian sellers, more powerful. Learn how to use Facebook ads. I mentioned that before, but I didn't tell you how to learn that. There's a program, and now there are people who sell ads, Facebook ads courses. If you can afford it, I recommend that you get it and use that as an investment in your business. But if not, Facebook has a program called the Facebook Blueprint. Okay, the Facebook Blueprint, not the, it's just called Facebook Blueprint. Okay, so it's a free program that was created by Facebook to teach people how to use Facebook ads, because they figure that if more people knew how to use Facebook ads, they would spend more money with Facebook and Facebook would make more money. So they put it out there for free. So just Google Facebook Blueprint and go through it, and it's free to access. You might need to pay for the certification, but the knowledge itself is free. So why I said this was a thing called retarget. You can put so now, have you ever gone to a website, like maybe a hotel's website or an online shopping website, and then you left there, whether you bought or not, you left there and started seeing their ads all over the internet? Yes, that is a simple technology that can be in your hands. That is actually in your hands right now. It's called retargeting. All right. So when somebody comes there, you were able to create a recency effect in their minds, and your ads start following them everywhere until they buy. Okay, that's called retargeting, and it's something that you can do with Facebook advertising. Okay, and then let me just close with mobile apps. People think that creating mobile apps is difficult. It's not difficult at all. All right, some mobile apps might be hard to create, but the ones that help you sell online, whether you are an online course creator or you are selling a physical product or you are selling a digital product, whatever you're selling, those kind of apps don't cost a fortune to create. There are many options out there. As a matter of fact, I actually have a company that is a drag and drop app creator. So without learning how to code, with our solution, you can create your mobile app in just 15 minutes, kind of like Wix does for websites. Okay, ourselves to create your mobile app for iOS, for Android. You create your mobile app for your online store, for your blog, for your website, for your goods and for your services. You can build a subscription base of those who are subscribed to your website. And then whenever you want to bring their eyeballs to any piece of content, you simply use that magic of push notifications, unlimited push notifications, and get them to see your offer, your content, and so on. Okay. What we advise for those who are doing mobile apps is to use content marketing to their advantage, because people are not likely to just install your app just because they want to see your products all the time, because they want your sale. There's got to be something you can offer them there, maybe content, maybe blog articles. Okay, so with our solution, you can have a section of your app that has your latest blog articles, or even your YouTube channel, and even your podcast, so that they are able to consume your content within the app. And also your online store is also on the app, where they can actually buy your products. Okay, if you are interested in that, send me a DM on Instagram. My handle is at John Obidi. Send me a DM and I could hook you up. But that is how to sell anything. Just in brief, I just give you that crash course so that I can take your questions and give you more bespoke attention. But so far, so good. Thank you for having me. I'm sure by now I've said so much. I'm going to have a lot of questions from you guys. So I'm just opening the floor now to Ada to take on the questions. Hello.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you. You did justice to that in a very short time. So thank you so much. Well, looking at the questions, this person, Alex Etim, is just saying that, I think he's just making a comment. He says, Access Bank also gives similar payments hosting service like Paystack to their customers. I don't know if you understand what Alex is trying to say. Access Bank also gives similar payment hosting service like Paystack to their customers. Okay, I get that. Okay, this person is also asking, who goes, do you offer Wix in your CPAN? No, but we don't use Wix, but of course we have a site builder that is also easy to use. It's a drag and drop, very easy to use. So you can also check us whogohost.com and check our site builder there. Okay, hi John. Glad you're not in Nigeria. That might help my question. Sorry. How can I sell in another country? I am in Europe and I want to start selling some African stuff, but I am not sure how to go about it.
Okay. Please make your question more specific. Do you need like information on payment gateways or strategies? I need to know the angle to come from.
Can I speak?
Yeah, sure, IJ, you can.
Thank you. Okay, so
hello, IJ.
Hi, John. It's been a wonderful class. Thank you so much, especially that email part. Like, I've been thinking about that. It's good to see an authority actually affirm what I've been thinking. Okay, so I recently came to Europe and I want to start selling some African things here. I can see that a lot of Nigerians seem to be missing that touch, but nobody wants to like put a foot forward to do it. And I think I want to fill in the gap. But my question is, honestly, my strength is not marketing. I've worked in the bank, and when I was meeting my CEO, I told him that if you want to give me marketing, just tell me, let me go. So all this marketing thing is honestly, it's something else for me. My strength is customer experience. I'm trying to put focus on the product, but marketing, the way you explained it, you made it look easy. I don't know, how can I start, especially in this pandemic, like making sure that the people see my product. Of course, my first target are the Africans in Europe, but I don't mind extending to the white here, because a couple of times when I wear my African attire, they love it, you understand, but I'm not sure where to start. I'm not very good with Instagram. I don't know if they shadow ban me, but I've given up on that platform, so I don't even want to do that Instagram thing at all. I'm more visible on LinkedIn, but I just need your help. I don't know how. Thank you.
Okay, so that's so there are many advantages to being a seller in Europe. It's huge because IJ is your name, right?
Yes, you can call me IJ. It's Ijoma, you can call me IJ.
Yeah. Okay, IJ. It's huge because you are in a buying economy. Do you know what that is? hey, you are in a buying economy. I always celebrate those those Nigerians who cross over, you know. And I wonder, and you said, well, you were celebrating me. You were like, thank God I'm not in Nigeria. That's not very patriotic. Anyway, I always celebrate those who cross over to buying economies because
what I meant was that help me.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. What I enjoy there is that you're in a buying economy where they have access to credit card systems. So a lot of times when a European is thinking about buying your product, then they're not thinking about cash at hand. They have a credit card system that can actually pay you. It's amazing. That's one of the issues with selling to Nigerians. When you're selling something to Nigerians, your competitor is no longer the next. Let's say you sell clothes now. Your competitor is not the next guy that sells clothes. Your competitor is money for diesel, petrol, children's school fees, food, utilities. Those are your true competitors these days. But in Europe, people don't have to think about those things. Well, a huge segment of that market don't have to think about those things. There's more disposable income and a credit card system where without having cash down, they can buy stuff, they can pay you. The bank settles you and they sell the bank, at whatever rates, so that's fantastic. Number two, that market has matured a lot. And so you can get instant visibility by simply learning to do ads. That's one. Two, when you can speak their language, like if someone like you were to have a mobile app there, I think you would be a hit. So if you were to have a mobile app for your, African prints or your fabrics or your accessories, where they could go in there, see your latest inventory, maybe even have some kind of content marketing. Maybe you have a blog right there on the app, right? Where you are showing them what the latest prints are or how they can order right there on the app, their own bespoke attire. That would be amazing. But the number one way to outreach there will be Facebook ads. Okay, so even if you had an app today, we wouldn't just wait for it to grow organically. You would run Facebook ads to drive app installs, right? So like the things I mentioned, whatever you're selling has to reside somewhere. Let's leave all the platform talk first. I talked about rented platforms, owned platforms, hybrid. Let's leave all those ones first, okay? Those ones come in when you first of all have a store that hosts what you're selling. So whether the store is on Shopify or the store is hosted on Bluehost, or is hosted on WordPress, that store has to exist first. People can go to your www.ijiomasclothing or ijiomaswears.com. They can go there and see everything. That's the first step. You have to exist. Your store has to exist in that form. Now it exists in that form. Our question can be, how do we bring people to see it? That's where Facebook ads will come in. So people, you run the Facebook ads, they come to your store, they see it. There's a prompt here that says, hey, don't leave, we'll give you 25% off or 10% off if you download our mobile app. Okay, you see all these people, all these other apps doing the same thing. We give you 10% off of your first purchase if you download our mobile app, or if you sign up to our email list, and so on. So you can sell them right there on the site, but before they go, you get them to install your mobile app. And that is power. That is power, because you can now bring them back to see your website, to see your offers without having to pay anything extra. Push notifications are free. So when you pay the initial cost of acquiring that user to your app, re-engaging them within the app is totally free. And the open rates, those notifications are way higher, way higher than email marketing and the likes. All right. So if you need anything more bespoke, you can hit me up, DM me on Instagram. I will respond. But this in brief is what I would recommend for you. Get your products to be hosted on, or to be displayed on their online store first, so that you can be found. And then you can do the outreach of using Instagram ads to target the kind of people that you want. So Facebook ads are really well targeted. I think you can even target ethnicities on Facebook ads. So you can target that country you are in Europe, but you can even target ethnicities within that country, or all ethnicities, or geos, or even postcodes. And another thing with being in Europe, one thing you have that I think we don't really have in Nigeria is within Facebook ads, you can target income brackets. So you can target high income earners on Facebook within Europe. I don't think you can do that with Nigeria because we don't have that much data, but you can do that with where you are currently located. So that's even a plus. So that's what I would advise. Hit me up on it on the DM if you need anything more bespoke.
I will. Thank you so much, John. I will. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, John. Emu Esiri, sorry, I hope I pronounced your name right. Forgive me. He said, "Thanks, John. Please, how best would you suggest services and trainings that can be sold often, despite having some leads already?"
Services and trainings that can be sold often. Okay. So I don't like to just, because it's good for you to have some expertise in whatever service or training first. It's not for you to just hear that, oh, this one is selling now, go and learn it in 1 week and start selling it. So I'm careful about that. But what is it that you're currently doing and have established some measure of success in? That is something you can package into a training. Okay. For example, if you're selling to Nigerians, one thing that will always sell is something that will help people make more money. For as long as you're selling that, people will always give you attention. If you're selling something that helps people improve their business or make more money, you always have their attention. Look at the topic of what we had, of what we the topic of this conversation, how to sell anything online. If Google Host had put the pricing of this training at, say, maybe even 40,000 naira, a good number of us here would pay, because it's a valuable topic that we need today. Maybe would make the hours longer because it's paid, but it's a great topic. And if someone like me is coming to speak about it, you're likely going to pay. I'm saying this because I've sold thousands of trainings on this topic. People buy trainings on how to sell stuff online, right? Because they are not thinking about this as an expense. They're thinking of it as an investment, because you're like, if I pay 40K for this training and I acquire the knowledge, it can help me figure out how to actually sell what I have packaged, and I can make it way even more money from that. Okay, so it has taught me that when you're selling something that helps people improve on their businesses, or even shows them a new business opportunity, they are willing to pay for that kind of thing. So that's a form of training. I've sold tons of trainings. I still do. It's a major part of my revenue. So that has taught me that it will actually sell. So when you say services, one thing that sells, based on my experience as the CEO of App Canvas, that's my app creation solution, we have a good number of people who join App Canvas, get a subscription, and are using the platform not so they can make apps for themselves, but so they can repackage themselves as app creators or mobile app designers, and market that as a service to people. So they buy subscription on our platform and then start creating mobile apps for churches, for online store owners, for business owners, for bloggers, and they start making money from that. I know somebody who charged up to 300,000 naira for one app. I know somebody who charged up to 500,000 naira for another app. Depends on your bargaining power and the consumer segment that you're targeting. But on the lower end, I know people who charge like 100K for creating mobile apps that they'll just use our platform to create in just 30 minutes. So that's an example of a service that you can render. Another one is Facebook ads. You can render that as a Facebook ads agency. Many people hear of Facebook ads, but no matter how much I talk about Facebook ads, some people don't want to be bothered about it. They want someone who can just take that burden off of them. So if you can learn that well and be good at it, you can market yourself as a Facebook ad specialist, or even as a media buyer. It's the same thing, just big grammar, right? And it's an example of a service that you can sell. A good thing about services is that once you've established credibility and great testimonials with your clients, you can package your experience there and then sell as an online course. That will sell even more because you've got testimonials. So somebody you've done a service for here and a service for there, they can give you a testimonial that you can use to build to demonstrate credibility and experience and expertise when you are selling your online course, and it helps you make more sales, even more than the beginner who is just selling an online course without testimonials and previous experience. So that's how best I can answer that.
Thank you, John. Sistus Obianuka said, hi, John. Thanks for the outstanding information. I don't know if I didn't get you on this. The paid course on Facebook ads, please, can you make, sorry, hold on. Please, can you make brief reference about the paid Facebook ad course?
Okay. It's free, actually. So it's called Facebook Blueprints. It's not my course. It's Facebook's course. It was created by Facebook to teach Facebook users how to create ads. So it's called Facebook Blueprints. So just Google Facebook Blueprints. I think to be the first result that you see. You click into it and you see all what they offer. To access the knowledge base there is totally free video courses. But I think it's the certification that is paid. So you can market yourself with that certification as a Facebook ads specialist. And that could perhaps help your career if you want to go that route. But the knowledge is actually free.
Thank you. Raphael says, thank you, John Obidi, for the insights. Please, what platforms do you recommend for creating a free/pocket-friendly mobile app?
Free, pocket-friendly. Well, there's my platform, App Canvas. But there are other platforms too. You could Google them. There's one called give me a sec. There's one called Apps Gazer. So just Google Apps Gazer. That's one. I don't know about free, but you know the thing about free is that if you're not paying for it, you're the product. You know, they'll probably run ads on your app and all. Yeah. So there's Apps Gazer. There are other app services there, but free, I don't know. You know, if you're going to eat a frog at all, eat a very big one. It's an old Igbo saying. So yeah, I would recommend if you're going to create a mobile app, pay for it. You know, just save up money, pay properly, and then monetize. The thing about free, you think that you're saving money, but you're spending something that is more valuable than money, and that is your time. You're going to spend all that time creating something that is free and not worth much. And after you realize it's not worth much, you spend like 6 months when you can just pay full price and, you know, gotten your idea out in a couple of weeks and started monetizing instantly. So there's no app created that is free that will give you the features you're looking for. Yeah, so I mean, you could research that. I'm sure you've researched that before coming here. So you realize that, you know, they're either going to exist or they're not worth it in the long run. Yeah. So, but just, you know, check Apps Gazer out. I'm not sure what they have. I don't use them. I use our custom solution. If you're interested in that, hit me up on the DMs and I'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
More questions, guys.
Yeah,
hit me.
Let's know if you have more questions. Please, you can drop them in the comment section, and I'll just
Ask me
read them
now.
out to John.
I'm expensive.
So we have about a few minutes left to go. So please ask your questions. Okay, so someone say, please, what's your IG handle and the correct
John
website,
Obidi,
please?
Just John Obidi. Come, just look for search John Obidi. You know, you'll see me smiling. You know, my legendary smile there. You just see John Obidi at John Obidi. There are two actually. There's John Obidi BR. That's for my Brazilian followers, but just John Obidi. There's another one that's, you know, one of my followers created, John Obidi quotes. It's not that one, no, it's just John Obidi. I've been begging to them to verify me, but they do not hear word. But anyway, you just find me there, John Obidi. And the correct website is appcanvas.io, but just DM me, I'll send you the correct purchase link. Ask me your questions.
Any more questions, guys?
Use all my plenty sense to your benefit. Use it.
Please throw in the questions. That's why John is here. So use him now that you can. Okay, so someone said, good afternoon, everyone. I don't get what you said about hybrid network.
Okay, so hybrid platforms. Okay, so because I was rushing, I wanted to really use the time and then take your question, so I didn't really break it. So hybrid platforms, they combine some of the features of the owned. Okay. Owambe, sir. Mute your mic, sir. Honorable, off your mic. Thank you, sir. All right. So, so hybrid platforms take some characteristics of some of owned platforms and rented platforms. Okay, so hybrid platforms are like Telegram, WhatsApp, and mobile apps. So in a way, it's not like owned platforms where you own it, because the Google Play Store can still kick you out if you're naughty. Just like they did to Parler. You remember Parler? That was that app that was made popular during the US elections, or after the US elections, actually. So they can still kick you off the Play Stores, but it's very rare. You have to be, very exceptional for them to do that. But way more control over like rented platforms like social media. So that's what hybrid platforms are. And the beauty of hybrid platforms is the magic of push notifications. That's why I really hype them. So WhatsApp, mobile apps, and that's your own mobile app, and Telegram. That's it. Questions? Have we lost Ada?
Can you hear me, John?
I'm just hearing you now.
Oh, okay, so sorry.
Okay.
So someone is just joining us. We are so sorry, you that is just joining from the UK. So sorry, you've actually lost a lot. But of course, it's being recorded, so you might have the opportunity to, watch it sometime. Ago Vincent says, thanks, Daddy J.O. Oh, wow. Thanks, Daddy J.O. for this wonderful session. You just make things look simple.
That's what members of my Facebook group call me.
Call you. Oh, you're okay. I want to create my own online courses. What platform is the most pocket friendly to use?
Pocket friendly has shown up 2 times in this conversation. Pocket friendly. Pocket friendly. So I want you guys to before I answer that question, let me just give you something that you'll find a lot online, and that is you either have to have time or money, or both, but you can't lack both. You should either have time or money. You can't say you don't have time, you don't have money. Okay, so if you don't have time, make sure you have money to pay for tools that will reduce the time you will spend creating. Okay, but if you don't have money, make sure you have time to spend on not so user-friendly tools. Yeah, I say that to say this. So for example, now I heard from Ada that Google Host has a drag and drop website creator, right? So it's drag and drop. I'm guessing you have to pay for that. Okay, it's not entirely free, which is good, because with drag and drop, your site can be up in just minutes. But if you are going for pocket friendly or entirely free, you are going to be using platforms that are not so, they may be pocket friendly, but you will spend a lot of time and it's so much to figure out. For example, WordPress. When I first started out my career teaching this in 2013, I used to be an evangelist for WordPress, like creating WordPress website. But I realized that I was a techie, okay? I studied computer science in university, so these things come easily to me. But to the average person that I'm teaching, this somebody who's coming from the banking sector or coming from doing real estate, they don't care about the tech. They just want a solution that they can get into business with right now. So I was preaching WordPress and people were not willing to learn the WordPress. What can I use that can be drag and drop? So that's where Wix became dominant. And now Google Host has their own platform, okay? So I would recommend that if you're not so techy, just spend a little more money on some platforms that just put you out there really fast. So like Google Host has a platform now. I don't know, maybe Ada can confirm this. I don't know if they have a something that you can use to create your online course. But if they do, that would be a great one. Another one that has launched is called Selar, Selar. So I use their platform, but I haven't used it for online courses. But they have a section for online courses. But for that one, I think they charge, 8,000 naira per month. Yeah, so they charge 8,000 naira per month to use that part of their system. The beautiful thing about Selar, sales people that I mentioned, they should start paying me. The beautiful thing about Selar for Nigerians is that you can sell online courses using their platform. You can get money from Nigerians that can pay you with the Nigerian cards. But if you have customers in the diaspora, in the US, in the UK, in other countries, or outside of Africa, you can actually receive payments via Stripe and PayPal without having a Stripe or PayPal account. So the payments get settled into sellers, Stripe, and PayPal accounts, and PayPal will actually pay you the money you made in dollars. They will convert that money to Naira at black market rates and pay it to your Naira bank account, which is fantastic. It has actually helped me to sell some of my courses, not just to my Nigerian audience, but to my American audience and my European audience, and get paid right here in Naira, especially at black market prices, because we need that black market price. Very important. Okay. So yeah, so I don't know what you mean by pocket friendly, is relative, but if you can afford 8,000 naira a month, seller.co might be a great opportunity for you. I would have said Teachable. I used to preach about Teachable before because they had a free plan that could get you started, but I think many people have gone to use their free plan, so they've capped their free plan at a ridiculous, 10 users. It was unlimited users before, but now it's 10 users. So it makes no sense anymore. So just check out Stellar. There may be other ones that are free. I don't know. I've left that zone of free, but maybe when I'm teaching this the next time, I'll go and research for free, because I'm hearing people saying pocket friendly all the time now. So and now I know that pocket friendly is in demand. So I'll go and maybe do some research and uncover those that are free and maybe teach at the next training.
All right, thanks, John. And no, David said, "Hi, John. Thank you for this prize-like session. To be able to run ads on Instagram, must it be done through Facebook? Facebook has blocked me from running ads, and I don't know what else to do."
Chimo, what did you do to them? What have you done to Facebook? Okay, so more seriously, you might need to contact Facebook and beg them. Tell them that you have repented from your ways. That's you've given your life to the Lord and you're ready to come clean. Usually Facebook blocks you for some transgression. When you Facebook, let them know that you have realized what you have done, you have taken correction, and you will not do it again. It's the quickest way to get your Facebook accounts back. Trust me. That's one. You can do it from Instagram, but I don't know if you can still run Instagram ads when they banned you on Facebook. So just try to contact Facebook and get them to reinstate your account, because ads are more powerful when done from the Facebook ads platform. Okay, most people just put a post on Instagram and boost the post. It works, but it's not anywhere near as effective as when you're doing it from the Facebook ads platform. Okay, see. Let me tell you one of my magic tricks of Facebook advertising. It's so easy. Anybody can do it. It's so easy. So when you are doing your Facebook ads, right, you can target people who engaged with you on Instagram in the past 30 days. So anybody who liked your post or commented on your post or shared your post or engaged with you through your Instagram stories, you can serve them an ad on Facebook. So if they are following you on Facebook, on Instagram, you can get them to follow you on Facebook too. Because for those who know me outside of here, I have a Facebook group of over 160,000 people. All right, that's my major platform. I built that platform by intelligently using Facebook ads, some organic, but mostly using intelligent Facebook ad techniques. So I could go post maybe like just recently. Now, if you check out my Instagram, I was voted one of 100 most influential young Africans. And I posted that on Facebook, and people were liking and saying congratulations. What I normally would do is I will now create a Facebook ad to target people who engaged with me recently. So everybody who clicked on that post and congratulated me on that post would see my ad on Facebook. And because I've already established authority with that achievement, they are more receptive to anything I have to offer. So these are some tips and tricks. I don't know why more Nigerians are not using Facebook ads, but I'm a huge advocate of Facebook ads. It is magic. All right, it's magic. So if they banned you, please go and beg for forgiveness and don't do it again. Facebook has some restrictions on what you can advertise and what you cannot. So try to contact them. Just Google how to get my ad account back. You see the link and contact a Facebook ad rep, and you'll fill a form, and they will get back to you. I've never had an account banned, so I'm really sorry. I'm not an authority on that. But if you want to go deeper on Facebook ads, there are two people I would recommend on Instagram. These are people that I've invited to speak on my own webinars and speak at my own online events. They are fantastic. Ken Ndubisi, he is fantastic at Facebook ads. His Instagram is the Ken Ndubisi. And also, there's this other name that is skipping me right now. That name is not supposed to skip me right now. It's DP Tracks. The name of this thing is DP Tracks Academy. Yes, Damola is his name. Damola Oyekunle. Yes, that's his name. Damola Oyekunle. Just look for Damola Oyekunle on Instagram. And if you go to Instagram too, he teaches about Facebook ads too. He puts some free content out there on Facebook ads. So follow Damola Oyekunle on Instagram. Follow Ken Ndubisi on Instagram. They are the two top Facebook ads authorities and experts that I would recommend any day, anytime in Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you, John. I just have about a few questions and we'll just wrap up. Pepemi is saying that, hello everyone, Mr. John, thanks for your time. My question is actually, I'm new in Europe and I have interest in selling online, but I don't have any idea on how to go about it. So I think John has talked about this. I don't know, John, if you want to add any more words to that. I think this person joined late.
Yeah. So Ada, are you going to release the recordings to those who registered?
Yes, I will. I will. It will be up on YouTube, so they will have a link.
So just watch. Okay. Awesome. So just watch the replay, and just watch the replay. This class, what we've just done now is it covers everybody who has maybe a physical store, or you are selling an online course, or it's not niche. It's a bit general. So that's good for someone like you who is a newbie to this. So it will give you an overview of what this is about, and then you can decide what strategy that you want to go deep on. And of course, my DMs are open. Let me know what concerns you have, and maybe I can point you in the right direction.
All right, then. Thank you. William said, thanks, John. I just started learning WordPress. Can I dump it for weeks?
Okay, so I like your question, and I really like people who would like to learn and improve themselves. Great job for learning WordPress. So if you already started learning WordPress, don't stop, because for the fact that you started learning WordPress means that you have an affinity for tech stuff. All right, there are things that I can do with WordPress that I cannot do with Wix. All right, so if you're somebody who wants to render services, high-end services, learn WordPress. Is going to make you more powerful than someone that stops at Wix. I recommend Wix for those who want to just create for themselves. But if you want to create for other people, use Wix, but also keep learning WordPress. Let me tell you why. WordPress has something called plugins. Plugins are software that extend the functionality of an existing software. So WordPress has a ton of plugins. You can use WordPress to build an online school. You can use WordPress to build an online community, a social network, an online store. You can use it to build a Wikipedia. You can use it to build so many things because of the plugins that that WordPress has that Wix doesn't really have. Or if Wix has it, Wix will charge you extra, and it will charge you more. But you can build more cost-effective and pocket-friendly. That's the keyword of today. And pocket-friendly solutions with WordPress. Remember what I said earlier on about time and money. If you don't want to spend time, you have to spend money. If you don't want to spend money, you have to spend time. So apparently you have the time to figure out WordPress, and so you'll be able to create solutions that will not cost you much more, but they'll be able to bring so much value to you, to your pockets, and to the marketplace. So keep on learning WordPress. It has a lot of value, because you already have an affinity for these things. But if you can't handle a lot of tech, then you can stay off of WordPress and deal with Wix and just pay the extra that Wix charges, and perhaps explore the Whogohost drag and drop website creator. That would be a great solution that you can try out too.
Thank you, John. Google is asking how to create online courses. So John earlier on has mentioned some things on how to go about that, how to create online courses. So once this video is released, you get to see that. Then just replay it, and you hear one or two things that he mentioned as regards that. Hassan Omar said, I want to start an e-commerce shop in Nigeria using Magento, as I have a solution that requires some elements that Magento is just great for. Apologies if this has been discussed earlier, as I joined awfully late. It would be good to hear what your thoughts are.
Please give me that question again.
I want to start an e-commerce shop in Nigeria using Magento. I think it's talking about, Magento, as I have a solution that requires some elements that Magento is just great for. So he wants to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, I've never used Magento before, but so I've never used it before, but I think with Magento, you may have to install it on your own server. Is that right?
Okay.
Let me have the person speak. If the person can speak, it would be nice.
Okay, Hassan.
Yes, I can.
I apologize. I just barely joined because I didn't know what the time was, and for some reason I cannot.
Okay, that's okay.
I was here in the UK. So what it is
that's okay.
Because I don't live in Nigeria, but I was looking for a solution for not having a presence of having to open a shop in Nigeria. And I thought, well, I could very well run an online shop anywhere in the world. And I thought, okay, well, how best can I offer the solution that I want to offer? And I spoke with a few consultants here, and they thought, well, Magento would offer you what it is that you want to do. So what Magento really will do for me is I can very well open that site, put in whatever it is that I want to sell. But again, there's a feature that it's got that would enable the end clients, the end users who want to make purchases on my site, also go in there and have to build custom build whatever it is that suits what it is that I'm selling. But again, this they would have designed by themselves. Now, so upon designing it, what will now happen is that I now get delivery of what they've designed, and then ensure that I am able to progress that through to them. But again, now take for instance, you've got a shirt that you design and you put on your website, and somebody goes, okay, well, I want to try and design mine. Okay, they put their design, whatever it is that they want. But again, I'm giving that power to them to do it.
Right. So it's kind of like Teespring.
Something like that, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Go on.
Yeah, so you're giving the power to them for them to be able to design it themselves. So, but the only thing I'm going to be doing for them is because I've got the choice of knowing if it's an organic shirt, if it's ring spun, or if whatever type of shirt it is. But again, once they design it and they send it to cart, I now pick it up from the cart and then send it through to my designers, who just ensure that they print it on the fabric, and then I can make sure that whoever has requested for it gets it delivered to them. Now, so I just wanted to find out, I don't know if it was discussed earlier or not, and that's the reason why I said, well, I apologize if this had been discussed earlier.
Okay. Also, so it hasn't. So what you're doing is a print on demand solution, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. So I mean, it looks good. I haven't used it before, honestly.
Okay. Right.
But do you intend to get customers from Nigeria?
Well, yes. The thinking really is, without really taking too much time, I apologize to everyone. Now,
that's okay.
Really, what I'm thinking of doing is, I used to live in Nigeria, then I moved to the UK about some 20-something odd years back now. And again, the thinking is, I thought, well, at some point I want to go back to Nigeria. Now, and for me to be able to do that, I want to think about setting up something that I can follow through till when I get back in Nigeria. And obviously, because I know the mechanics of having to own a shop, getting people into it and all of that, can be a bit demanding. And I thought, well, put up this site. I use this here because I already have a version that I have here in the UK. Now, so what it is I'm doing is I'm supplying a lot of schools here with T-shirts that most of the primary schools here are using. Now, and I thought, well, that model doesn't exist in Nigeria. Now, at least I don't remember graduating from a school in Nigeria where I proudly can say this is a T-shirt of my university. So I thought, well, I'm sure that kind of service would resonate with a lot of Nigerians. And I thought, well, why not extend that into Nigeria and try and see what it is that we can do that can help that market as well, whilst I think about my retirement or my going back into Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay. So that works. Magento would definitely work. I mean, Nigeria is not a country where, there's any kind of or that level of censorship where you create something abroad and you can access it here. I mean, you create in the UK, we can access it here.
Okay.
The only issue I foresee with trying to get a Nigerian market is the limits on Nigerian cards.
Right.
So I don't know if you're aware that the average Nigerian card cannot buy more than $100 a month.
Okay. No, not at all.
And that's quite an issue.
Okay.
That's quite an issue. So you might need a way to maybe to have a Nigerian bank account so that Nigerians can actually use their cards to pay in Naira without limits.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're right.
So another way.
Okay.
But another way Nigerians make purchases is by using maybe a virtual credit card like Get Butter by Flutterwave.
Okay.
But still, many Nigerians are still lazy about it. If you just try to pay and it's not working, they just say, "Oh, my card is not working," and they go elsewhere.
Yeah,
and somebody who is able to take Nigerian cards that are denominated in Naira.
Okay.
Take that business, a local presence, and by that I mean just a Nigerian bank account that can accept money.
Yeah. Okay.
Talking about that, you may not even need. Okay, cool. Go on.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, actually, to deal with that, what I had done was I had actually registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria. I've also opened an account in Nigeria. And the thinking is, if people are going to make any purchase online, it's got to be Naira denominated. So, and that was to take away the element of using any other service. So what it is just like you have Jumia, Konga, and all of this online e-commerce in Nigeria. So the thinking is you go online, make a purchase, you make payment in Naira, and then we worry about the delivery to you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. That works then. That works.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. I think your question has even helped other people that had similar questions to get some of their own answers. So thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right, thanks, John. So to our last question before we head over to IG. IG says she has a question, but this is my last question from here. And this person is Sistus Obianuka. She said, or he said, sorry. Hi, Daddy J.O. I'm currently studying computer science, 300 level, currently rendering website design services using WordPress or custom PHP, and would love to offer mobile app development services using your custom app canvas. Is there a detailed guide on how to develop simple to advanced apps using your platform, and also bonus tips on marketing?
Oh yes, we offer that on our platform for those who subscribe through us. So just send me a DM, you'll get all of that. And great job. You said you're in 300 level. That reminds me a lot about when I was in university. I went to Benson Dahosa University in Benin City. So I think from my 200 level, I used to render website design services to support myself in school. So it just reminds me of those days. Well, back then we had to use HTML and PHP and Macromedia when Dreamweaver was still owned by Macromedia before it became Adobe. So we did all of that. So good job. Keep up the good work. So yes, you can certainly add mobile apps as a high-end service, and nobody has to know that you're using a drag and drop tool. So we have great support for people like you who are doing it as a service. So send me a DM and I'll hook you up.
All right, thank you, John. So how about final question from IJ? IJ, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Okay, thank you, Ada. So, John, when you came for DDK's program, I remember specifically that you talked about international businesses like registering across and the rest. And I can see that like 3 or 4 people have had those kind of questions. Seems to be an upcoming trend. So do you have like a course or somewhere? I think you do have some knowledge that can help someone set up something and do well. Am I making sense? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay, like international business, like now someone talked about opening something. He's in UK, wants to do something in Nigeria. I'm in Europe, I want to do something from Nigeria here. Somebody else also asked that brought up. And I remember that when you came for DDK's program, you talked about registering your business like in US and all those details. So yes. Is there advice you can give, or is there a program you have or a course you have or something? Because I see that it might be something that you're, what's the word now? Yeah, thank you.
So that's a great question. I actually have a course. It's called Business Beyond Borders. But it's I made that course last year. I think that was even before DDK's program. But there's so much that has happened between that time and now with the whole pandemic and all that. There's so much updated information in the landscape. So for example, on one of my previous webinars, I taught people one of the ways they can register their businesses, for example, in Dubai, not just Dubai, but in the UAE. Because one thing that people don't know about the UAE, for example, is that they have 0 personal income tax, they have 0 corporate tax. And so they have also another feature called a tax residency. Long story, but first of all, 0 corporate tax, 0 personal income tax. And so that's an attraction for a lot of people. And so, but even that, the details on how to go about that are not in that Business Beyond Borders, because I made that course before I moved to Dubai. I'm going to make an update to that includes all of our recent findings and research about how to incorporate in the UAE without being in the UAE, how to incorporate in the United States without being in the United States, and other tips and tricks that people can use to become international business mavens. So just look out for that, or you can send me a DM if you want the old version of Business Beyond Borders, but if you just wait a bit, we're going to update that.
Okay, I'll wait. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Wow. That was an intense session. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much. It was an amazing session, and I believe we all took 1 or 2 things from here, especially on how to really sell on the internet. Of course, the internet is what we all use these days, and also due to the pandemic, everybody has been forced to move online. So, I mean, where would everybody rather be than be on the internet? Because it's actually best to be there. It makes your sales really easy. Thank you so much, John. I don't know if you have any final words for everyone here.
Well, first of all, thank you so much to Google Host for this opportunity to share my knowledge with your audience, and also for creating a platform like this where people can just come and learn periodically at no cost. You know, I'm sure if you were charging for all the great trainings you're holding, you know, it probably would be above the personal development budgets of many of those who are watching, but you're making this available for free. You're even making the recordings available for free on YouTube, and that's a great thing that you're doing. Thanks so much to Google Host. My final words would just be for those who are on here and are benefiting from the training to be at least the brand evangelists of Google Hosts, become customers, but go beyond that and, you know, tell your friends about Google Hosts, tell your friends about the webinars, tell your friends about the latest products by Google Hosts, like the drag and drop web design tool, and so on. That's just one way you can pay it forward. Share it to your Instagram stories, share it to your Facebook, and get more people to know about the great work that Google Host is doing. That's just my final words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. And thank you everyone for joining. So you've heard John. So you are more like brand ambassadors for Google Host. So for everything that you've learned, spread the word. Google's have like varieties. It's right for those of you who want to take your businesses online, for those who are also using WordPress tool to design WordPress website. And we've got WordPress hosting, which is very fast, reliable for your WordPress website. So it's something you can also try. IJ is already a testifier. She's already using our WordPress hosting platform. So you all can also try. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having you guys on our more fireside chat as the month goes on. Thank you so much, John. And thank you, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, IJ.
Bye, IJ. Bye, IJ.
Bye.